Here we go. All right. So we have a question from Jay here. Let me pick that up in the chat. I'm live streaming right now. I'm recording for YouTube. Okay. Sorry for saying that. I know those people who are watching me on live hate it, but already off the topic question, why did you switch from DL to backend? And as always, Jay makes a lot of typo. He meant why did you switch, but he did why did you switched. So ignore him on that. All the grammar Nazis in the chat, it's okay. I'm one of them. Sorry about that. My teammates are one of my teammates does it, so I kind of do it with others I meet. Anyways, jokes aside, so why did I switch from deep learning to backend? First of all, to be very clear, I'm very, very young right now to say that I was in deep learning, that I'm now in backend. There's an analogy I really like. My tech lead in abnormal security where I work right now, as of 24th, what's the date today? 23rd January 2024. Just to clarify, right? So my tech lead, Dashing, his name is Dashing. I think he deserves that much credit, right? So he always says this thing that you are at the end a developer. You are a software engineer or developer, whatever. There are differences I know. But let's say software engineer. You are here to solve problems. So you do whatever you like. You do whatever that takes to solve a problem. Of course, you will have a niche. Like you will have an expertise on something. Could be backend, it could be front end, could be full stack, could be anything else, right? But he does it all, and that's something I love about him. Of course, he's a backend engineer at Abnormal. I know he's gonna hate me for saying that out loud, but yeah, um, he says that, and same as my previous tech lead. I mean, in the previous team I worked in Abnormal, Shoaib as well. He says the same as well, right? So for me, I was always interested in terms of deep learning. Whenever I was contributing to PyTorch, people misunderstood that, and they thought that I was an expert in deep learning. I was not an expert in deep learning. I was contributing to PyTorch. I was contributing to OpenCV. So I was more into making sure that libraries are developed better for the people who are using it. And given that I had some background while reading research papers of computer vision or deep learning, I was a really good candidate to be able to do it. Right? You can't just keep on developing things if you don't know it. For most of the times, at least, that's what I feel. At least you have to write test cases, right? So for me to shift from the deep learning world to backend world in terms of resume, it was a thing that I realized that people in India were misjudging me by looking at PyTorch and OpenCV in my resume. And that's when I realized that, okay, at least at the end of the day, I need to keep my job. I can't just keep on following the rightful path, but it also needs to be efficient. So that's when I realized, okay, I need some more projects in my resume that also talk about something other than PyTorch and OpenCV. I needed variety, right? And that's when I started doing more. I mean, it wasn't intentional, but it started happening. I was really tired when people would come and say that, oh, you contributed to PyTorch. Oh, do you want to apply for a deep learning role? I'm like, no, I'm not a deep learning. Like I contributed, I developed it, right? So that's a different question for another day. But also one of my things was in India, I have not seen a lot of startups doing real AI. And I'm very given that how much I've seen, okay, I know people gonna say that you are just 25, you don't know enough. I'm like, yeah, I know what I know. Okay, I can based on my experience, I'm telling it. Okay, at least I'm telling. That's all I'm saying. So they use pandas to plot some things, and they quote that they're using AI. Yeah, you match a pattern, you think they're using AI. You get funding using those keywords. It works as a marketing stunt. I don't mind that as long as your startup gets to survive and you don't lay off your people. I don't mind it at all. But you don't fake developers on that. You don't hire developers by saying this thing and then you end up doing something else. It's not even in your uh, pipeline or whatever roadmap, right? So I didn't like it. There are some startups who are starting. I mean, startups are starting to pick up, but there are some startups who are just calling the OpenAI client and all, right, using those APIs and saying that we built a chatbot. Yeah, we did something revolutionary. Don't say that. At least to our developers. Okay, marketing stunt is all. I don't relate to it, but I am anyways a bad marketing person. I don't know how to sell things. It's okay, but within your team, you should be transparent. And guys, you haven't learned anything else in AI. Okay, this is you calling those APIs. If you want to learn something, go and read the research papers on how is this working on. Okay, so that was also one thing that I realized. But it wasn't a reason for me to switch from deep learning in the resume to backend. I think I was always a software developer by heart. Front end is something I can't do. I get confused between red and orange, orange and green, orange. And also when some girls come and say that, oh no, that's not yellow, there's greenish yellow. I'm like, please, I'm already tired. Like, of course, boys do it as well, but a lot of girls do it more than this because they know the color specifically. Like, for example, my mom does it. This is lightish yellow. I'm like, Mama, I only know crayons. You know, yellow, red, orange, the colors that you gave me while I was in the school. I only know those. And my father relates to it. Yeah, he's okay. He's not colorblind. But she's like, no, this is not orange. This is not green. So it's very funny. So I kind of knew that I don't get enough ideas on how things should look like. You look at my YouTube thumbnails and you say that this guy is not a designer at least. Uh, yeah, I mean that's true. That what you're talking about that was cool. Yes, I agree. Banger art. Yes, I agree. I love it as well. Thank you so much, Pratik, for saying that. Yeah, but I think just the fact that what sells out in the market is not something I can understand. And I have to be very honest with people who are hiring me, right? I can't just fake them, hey, yeah, I can do front end. Yes, sure, hire me. After that, sales are down and then they fire me. This can't happen. So I was very clear that, if you're going to ask me to design things, system design, yes, I'm going to look forward to do that. Maybe I'm not the best, but I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it. Front end, you'll ask me, forget about your product, okay? You ask me to build something, you'll see what color combination is it. I won't even want to read the color combination. You look at my YouTube thumbnails, you'll say this. Like one of my friends did say that, buddy, your YouTube thumbnails are trash. I'm like, yeah. Why tell me this? I design my YouTube thumbnails. I take a lot of time. It took me 1 hour to design one of the thumbnails. So yeah, if a backend engineer designs thumbnails, you know what's gonna happen. He's gonna stick to 1000 subscribers. Yeah. But that was my reason for switching from deep learning in resume to backend as a person. I think there's a lot of potential for me to, as I said, performance was always the key thing that I wanted to focus on. How can I scale up? How can this be faster? How can this be optimized? Why can't this happen in milliseconds? Why can't this happen in microseconds? From 1 second to milliseconds to microseconds is what I wanted to take. And if you're reaching to nanoseconds, probably your metric is wrong or you're not selling enough. Right, just kidding. But yeah, not really kidding. It's kind of true. Depends on the metric you're talking about. Cool. That was a reason, Jay. Hope I answered your question. Thank you so much for asking the question. Thank you so much for staying around, and thank you so much for whoever was listening this on the YouTube channel later on. As a ending note, guys, can you ask them to subscribe? Can you all just say that subscribe in the chat? Uh, but no push at all. This is a channel. I don't aim to ask for subscribers right now. But if you like the content, let me know in the comments down below. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content. Don't forget to hit the red bell icon. I don't know if it's red. Whatever color it is. If you want to stay updated with the notifications. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording now. I'm going to talk to the live people because that's I have to do.